First of all, you know that beef between Sinzo and GTA, as there are some copies.
Cuphead also got a TV show. Yes, Cuphead has a TV show on Netflix.
Now for N64.
Advertising and advertisement is part of our society. We see it everywhere, in each place.
I've got an idea for a Heinz ketchup commercial.
Everybody has at least been introduced to some form of advertisement. In regards to the industry of gaming, advertisements are expanding more and more. Let's start with the evolution of the gaming industry. The video game industry is one of the most profitable and rapidly growing industries in the world. Since the early days of video games starting in 1959, its advertisement both in the real world and in the virtual space of these games has changed and evolved. According to Statista.com, the year 2024, the video game industry market generated a revenue of over $282.30 billion. Additionally, the video game market is expected to grow annually by approximately 8.76% from 2024 to 2027. The popularity of video game is higher than ever. According to whatthebigdata.com, the number of gamers is approximately 3.228 billion worldwide. As of 2024, 94% of the enthusiasts are Gen Alpha, 90 are Gen Z, millennials are 82, the Generation X are 64%, and the baby boomers at 43%. This is because us, gaming enthusiasts, we loved games both when they were 3D, 2D, 4D, it doesn't matter, because we love the process of expandment and the fact that games have evolved and the graphics became better, the gameplay became better over time. The beginning of advertisement in video games. It all started in 1978 when Scott Adams published Adventureland. Adventureland is a game without any sort of major graphics. It's a text-based game. And in this example, something happened, more exactly an ad for their next game, Pirate Adventure. Since the 80s, product placement became more and more dynamic. One of the first adventure games that we know is Tapper. Tapper places the player as a barman, which needs to serve the people who wish to consume the beverages. Initially, it was sponsored by Anheuser Bunch, sorry if I butchered the name. This version of the arcade game presents Budweiser. Let's start to talk about one of the major points of advergames. What I'm talking about here is PEPSI Man. PEPSI Man was a game with a low budget, but it has determined the decision to make their placement in their ads as the Pepsi Man himself. Pepsi Man is a man that drinks Pepsi. Of course, because the product was relatively cheaper at that time, it included 3D ports and visuals by Kotaku Ukikoshi. There are a lot of advert games that, even in the 2000s, made it. For example, we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, which featured branding from skating, boards, wheels, all sorts of real-life product placements. And now going into the 21st century a bit more.
Something's happening in America, in small towns.
There were also major parts that played in elections in America. For example, we have Need for Speed Carbone or even Burnout Paradise. I'm gonna talk about the esports and the live streaming service. Esports and live streaming have become important platforms for both advertising and brand partnerships. An overview of how advertising is incorporated into sports and live streaming is as follows. First, there's sponsorship and brand partnerships. Here, the esports team and the individual players form partnership with brands that include sponsorship, provide financial support, equipment, merchandise in exchange for visibility and promotions. Next, it's in-stream advertising. Here, live streamers on platforms such as Twitch, YouTube Gaming, and Mixer are often monetized with their content through in-stream advertising. This can include pre-roll ads, ads during breaks, or overlay banner ads during gameplay. Additionally, streamers can integrate sponsored content into their streams. There are many ways to promote products or services within the live content, so providing a direct and engaging way for brands is what they're focused on. And the third and final way for the branded content and influencers is through branded content and influence marketing. Here, brands collaborate with esports team players or popular streamers to create branded content that can be involved in sponsored gameplay videos, tutorials, reviews, entertainment segments featuring the brand's products. And of course, tournament and event sponsorships are to be seen as well. Free-to-play games are very popular. Games such as Fortnite or Call of Duty, to name a few DLCs, examples, and in-game items that are virtual. For example, we have the collaboration between Jordan and Fortnite. Integrating pop culture and Fortnite together was amazing. Throughout the years, this game brought major events in which artists worldwide, they promote their personal brands. People such as Travis Scott, Eminem, Billie Eilish, to name a few. Microtransactions. Sadly, this is variable. For example, games such as Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, Counter-Strike 2, some sorts of people promoted pretty much gambling. Yeah, gambling was promoted by influencers and brands. Not big brands mostly, but to put it shortly, you, the user, the player, pay a price for a virtual item that you wish you could resell after. Of course, I'm not talking about selling the items. That's not what microtransactions is about. There are various types of microtransactions. These are also included as deluxe editions, as DLCs for various games. Need for Speed Unbound, for example. For the Palace Edition, you get extra clothing. Farming simulators. Pay $1,000, you get all the things you need which are virtual and don't require any sorts of progression of help at all. Items, guns, licensed both for brands as Razer, for example, Logitech. Collaborations are everywhere, and these sorts of microtransactions, of course, help the publishers, the brands as well. They make a lot of money of them. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I'm new for now, so this project meeting works since last year and I've only finished it now. But I'm glad it turned out the way it turned out to be. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned a new thing today. I hope you're as passionate about gaming and advertising as I am. And yeah, what else can I say? Fuck microtransactions.